Yo, Kpaceguy here. What's going on? This video is going to be about the Base X A300 slash the XPA-7 slash the Monolith 7x200. Now, what I need to say about my Emotiva Base X A300 is this. I went to fire it up because I just thought about it because I know that I haven't had a receiver in a very long time. I haven't had a chance to play any music. So I was actually going to plug up the Emotiva amp and just play 2-channel music using my input that I had when I used this for the subwoofer, the one where I had the 3.5mm headphone going out to 2 RCA plugs. I was just going to plug it to the back of the amp and then listen to music that way. And to my surprise, my amp doesn't work either. And I called Emotiva and they're going to give me some things so I can get it repaired. So now I'm going to have that one repaired as well. I'm not as mad at this one as I was with my AVR because I was already planning on getting a new amplification system anyway. Which, if you guys remember back, I made a video trying to decide if I should get the XPA Gen 3 3-channel amp, 5-channel amp. I didn't know what I wanted to get, and then I ran into the Monolith. So this video is actually going to be specifically XPA-7 versus Monolith 7x200. Now, really quickly, they're both 7-channel amps. They both put out 200 watts, full 7 channels driven. And there's been a lot of buzz around about the Monolith and how good it is. But I'm here to tell you why the Emotiva is a little bit better. Back when I was looking for some amplifiers, I was thinking I was gonna get the Monolith too. I thought, okay, the Monolith is cheaper than the Emotiva. It still puts out the same amount of power with the same amount of channels driven. And I've done my research. I've been doing my research like I do with all my products that I buy. And before I tell you guys, I always do my research, and I've come to this conclusion that the Emotiva is the better amp. I'm here to tell you why. Reason number one is going to be build quality. Build quality is a huge factor, especially when it comes to electronics. Weight, you can kind of throw that in the category of build quality, because the things that look nice and stuff may be out of bad material, plastics instead of brushed metal, or it weighs 40 pounds versus 89. Those things really are a telltale sign of something that's cheaply made or not as well constructed as something else is. And in this case, Emotiva takes that one because its build quality is better, especially when you look to the binding post, the speaker connections in the back of the amp. Emotiva is solid quality. And you look at the Monolith, it's not as good. And I've actually seen some different forums and reviews on it, and that's one of the things that people say, is that the Monolith just doesn't look as, you know, as promising as far as like aesthetics wise, build quality wise, as the Emotiva does. My second reason as to why I think Emotiva is better is because of the balanced Xlr outputs, that the Emotiva has that the Monolith does not have. Now, it's not a deal breaker for some, but some it is. Some believe that Xlr outputs are better than RCA connections, or not RCA connections, but speaker wire, and we can argue that. I've never actually used XLR balanced inputs and outputs, so I'm not going to vouch my opinion on that one. But those who do know can leave in the comments. People think that that connection is better, and I can see just from what I know a little bit of that they're probably right. I don't know how much better they are, but I mean, if they weren't better, they wouldn't offer it as a way of connecting. My PB4000, you can't see them in the picture, but you guys know about them. My PB4000, they have XLR inputs on the back of them. So SBS wouldn't put it on the back of it if it wasn't going to be a stable, secure connection. And so your higher end amps, they're going to have them on the two. When you get like a processor, like an AVR processor preamp, they have XLR outputs on the back as well. So they must be high tech, high notch, top tier ways to connect your sound system if they're on there. And the Monolith does not have that. So you're stuck with RCAs. Now that's another point that I'm going to use, the RCA connections. The RCA connections on the Emotiva are better. They look more secure, a little better built than the Monolith. Not that the Monolith is bad whatsoever, because it has, I haven't seen a bad review of the Monolith whatsoever. I think that's all 5 stars. But build quality does come into an account when you're thinking about spending that much money on a separate. So in my opinion, those 3 reasons are reasons why I think the Emotiva is better. Now, as far as performance-wise goes, I still think the Emotiva amp is better because of this. Now, like I said, all channels driven 200 watts for both. But the issue with the Monolith that I don't know is an issue for sure, but we'll see. For a fact, I know that if you run your 7-channel amp from Emotiva in 2-channel listening, you're going to get 500 watts per channel. You're going to get 500 watts easily, no sweat. We do not know what the Monolith would do. I haven't been able to find what the Monolith does when not all channels are driven. We're not sure if you can keep up. I actually have some cheat sheet here. I have a cheat sheet here. It's telling me, yeah, it tells me that we don't know what if it's stable enough to drive 500 strong watts in the tube. We don't really know. We don't know a lot about the Monolith. We know a lot about Emotiva. That's the reason why I think that the Emotiva is better, because it's sure power. It's sure power. It's clean power. Let me see what else that it says here. Yeah, I'm still seeing more. I'm reading the forums right now, and it's still telling me that the binding posts, the RCAs, they're not as up to notch as Emotiva, and you expect that of Emotiva because that's the name you know. That's the name that we all know. My last reason for why the Emotiva is better is because it's Emotiva. Emotiva has been known to have pretty good service. I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about Emotiva service, and I just called Emotiva today and I got to somebody quick. I expected to be on a hold for 15 minutes and then get transferred to this person, to this person, this person. I got on the phone and the person answered within like 3 rings and then asked me what I needed, and then somebody helped me get what I needed to get my Emotiva sent out and repaired. So their service is good. I've also read online that people who've had issues with Emotiva, maybe going into standby or wouldn't come out standby protection mode, they've been able to send it within a couple of days and have them just ship a whole new one out. So that's really exciting to hear, and it goes straight through Emotiva. Unlike Yamaha, I had to go to Cincinnati and send mine through a whole nother company who kind of works with Yamaha, but I get to send my Emotiva straight to Emotiva, and Emotiva gives it back. I like that. So I think Emotiva takes the cake on this one. I'm not gonna say it's a landslide. That price point, I think it's like $1,800 I saw at the time of this video, $1,800 to $1,400 for the Monolith. So the price point is about $300 to $400 depending on where you look. You can find the Monolith cheaper. I think the Monolith, it was $1,500 on their site. I think the Emotiva is $1,900. So either way you look at it, wherever you find it from, you're gonna find a $400 price point difference. But you can kind of see the difference within the aesthetics as far as the binding post goes, the RCAs, if it can really power some speakers with 2 channels, things like that. So my money is going towards Emotiva. I've done my research and I've looked around. I trust Emotiva. Even though my amp's broken, I was moving a lot, so I could have done it myself. I had no idea. I haven't used the Emotiva since the receiver broke, and it was working at that time. So I'm not really sure what happened to it, but it's alright because I was planning on getting another one anyway. I was going to use this one in the other listening system, but it's no big deal. If I really want another Bass X, I can get another Bass X. It's only like $300, so it's not that serious. I mean, it sucks when you lose equipment, but it happens. Things break, heat breaks them, moisture, whatever. Things aren't built to last forever. That's why we have warranties, things like that. So no sweat, no disregards to Emotiva. Like I'm still an Emotiva fan. People tell me to get Outlaw, but you know, you kind of just stick with your roots. Even if something's better, you kind of just stick with a name you're comfortable with, just because you're comfortable with it. So I'm comfortable with Emotiva, and I mean, I really thought I was gonna get a Monolith because it was cheaper. I have the money for the Monolith now. I thought I was gonna jump on that, but I decided to do my research, whatever. So I'm gonna save a little bit more and get me an Emotiva XPA-7. That's the next thing you're gonna see. As far as my receiver goes, real quickly, I'll say this before I close out here. I'm gonna check and see what the status is on my AV receiver. If you haven't heard the last 2 videos, the last status that I heard was that the parts that I needed to repair, there's 3 parts that I needed to repair, and they were on back order, and we don't know if we're ever gonna get them, ever. So Yamaha is supposed to call the people who are repairing our receivers to tell them if they're what they're gonna do next. We're thinking either send me a brand new unit of what I have, or send me a brand new unit of the next model up. I have the Avantage 3060, so they'll either send me a new one of that, or they'll send me a 3070, which 3070 is really cool. It'd be really cool to have that because I wouldn't have to upgrade. I wouldn't have to upgrade for a while. But I would kind of like to have my 3060 back because I want to upgrade. I do want to upgrade for here in the living room space, and then have the 3060 in the other room. It'd be cool to have 2 flagship receivers powering 2 different systems, so I know that I'm getting the best sound in every spot in my house. But that's gonna be it, guys. I just want to let you guys know the XPA-7 versus the Monolith. I can put some more detailed comments in the comments for you guys if you want to know more about it. I can make a separate video again, really giving you guys the input on, or my input on which one's better and why, more reasons than just what I gave you. I just wanted to make it kind of quick. But just the ones that stuck out to me is what I'm telling you. The binding post, the power at 2 channels, the power in general. Monoprice is doing great with Monolith. I haven't heard anything bad whatsoever. But I haven't heard anything bad about Emotiva either. So, just want to let you guys know what's going on with that. If you liked this video, make sure you like this video. If you didn't like the video, you can dislike the video too. But of course, if you don't like something in the video, let me know why. Tell me why, so I can improve the next video. Because I don't want to keep doing things you guys don't like, you know. So leave a comment down below, like, subscribe. Make sure you're subscribing to the videos because cool things are happening. Especially when I get my receiver back, and especially when I get my new XPA-7. I want you guys to be here for that because it's gonna be super cool. And when I get my XPA-7, if I decide to get my XPA-7 before my receiver, I'm still gonna do music tests in the room because I can still put RCA inputs or XLR inputs to the Emotiva and having power in my speakers, so we can still get music. Might not be able to get full 7.2 channel, 9.2 channel Atmos. May not be able to do all of that because I don't have my AV receiver, but I will at least be able to put music back into the channel. So that's the main goal. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing. Give me feedback on what you guys think about things, the channel, me, the music, whatever you guys want to say, okay? I'm listening to everything you have to say, so feel free to say what you need to say, guys. It's been fun. Kpaceguy out.